It's me again. So, I just wanted to do a quick intro to this video before I'd even get into the shop. Realized after I was done recording, otherwise I would have done this first, and I think I talked a little bit about some of it in one of the parts. But yeah, I just wanted to. Today I'm making one board. A normal set comes with 8, and the game in question is called Jokers and Pegs. It's for 2 to 8 people. If you buy more than 8 boards, it's for as many people as you want. I actually learned playing it in Florida with my now late grandfather with 14 to 16 people at a table is when I learned it. Gets a little crazy when you have that many, but also a lot of fun. Just be warned, you need approximately 1 deck of cards per person in order to play and have the right mixing. That's usually was our that's what we tried to have. For 2 people, I just use a deck of 4. If you guys do want these sets, I am planning on starting to get them made in January, and I'm going to be using some different types of wood. The one I'm using today is Padauk, which is probably one of the more expensive woods I buy that I can get big enough to be able to do these. There's a few others that are just astronomically expensive. If that is something you're interested in, let me know. We can work something out. I've got a wood supplier where I can get just about everything I've ever heard of and a few that I haven't. So I am going to be trying to stick with a lot of like ambrosia maple, stuff like that, where I do a lot of those with other projects, and it's an absolutely beautiful wood without taking any real work to get colored. And it's maple, so it's relatively inexpensive and fairly easy to find, thankfully. But with that, I just wanted to let you guys know that, again, one board usually comes with 8 for a set the way my grandfather did it. I might break it down and do like set of 4, set of 6, set of 8. Not Still got to figure out how I'm going to do the kits and stuff like that from me. And I can also turn the custom game pieces, and I know I mentioned it multiple times here, but if y'all want to learn how to play, let me know. I will gladly do a how to play instructional video, and I'll see if I can find somebody that's willing to go on. And we're not going to be doing faces, it's just going to be the board, how it's played, and the basics with the rule sheet, stuff like that. But yeah, so just wanted to give a quick intro to everything. So without further ado, let's get down to the shop. What's up, YouTube? So today I'm doing a project that kind of means a lot to me. As some of you might know by now, most of you probably don't. I recently lost my grandfather, who's the one that actually taught me the basics of woodworking, that kind of thing. And this is the template for games that he used to make all the time. So I thought I figured I'd make me a game board outlet that's from the same one that he makes. After or once January hits or right after Christmas, I do take 3 to 4 months off of doing craft shows. So I'm going to be getting a lot of my other stuff done. Like I'm hoping to get my website done. I want to get a lot more inventory made, like some more of these pencils. These are absolutely amazing for drawing, and especially in the wood shop. I want to get some of these games made up. I've got a few other projects that I'm hoping to actually have done today, that I'll be doing a video on how I make those later on during that downtime. And yeah, so without further ado, we're going to start by just tracing the outline of this game board on this piece of wood. My grandfather used oak. This is a short piece of Padauk I found that was discounted. This is one of my absolute favorite hardwoods to work with, at least on the lathe. And I do use a little bit of it in cutting boards. Thought I grabbed a small pencil that this workbench is currently broke, so I'm kind of limited with what I can use it for, but it's the only one I have a decent wood clamp with, so that's why we're using it. And don't mind the mess in the background. I don't spend a lot of time in here, at least ever since I lost a fingertip to a table saw, so in this very room. But yeah, so hard to see, but that outline's there, and I'm going to save you guys a little bit of noise, so I'll be right back. And I'm back. So my granddad usually uses a bandsaw to do these. Me personally, the only bandsaw I have is a cheap piece of crap that just doesn't want to run. So I'm using my jigsaw. So yeah, I didn't even think to check and see if anything's gonna work. So let's see if I have enough room to get by the phone. Puppy dog's not used to hearing tools, so we'll have to ignore him today. At least not these ones, because this one usually lives out in my other shop. Doing this working around my phone, I should almost go out and grab my barrel jigsaw. Yeah, this is definitely a lot harder than oak. I used to help him cut these out on a bandsaw all the time. Alright. Yeah, this is definitely going to need a little bit of sanding when we're done. Which, being that I got a late start today, we'll probably do all of that in a later video. I want to get these holes drilled out, and we can do it in a later video. Might just not get done. It's the first attempt, so don't got to be perfect. Something's not happy. Get out of there. And that's what I was afraid of. Oh man, I've so got to get a new workbench for down here. Yeah. scrolling blade for this. Don't have one in that pack, darn. Some of these blades are great for doing turns and stuff. These ones apparently aren't. Of course, it also helps that I've actually never cut this wood with a jigsaw before, so learning curve. All right. Sorry, I'm also still getting over that head cold I had a couple weeks ago, which doesn't help. You're not falling over there this time. Wow, I'm really getting in the way of that shot. Alright. Well, at this point, I'm just going to have to hold this by hand, I think. Oh, wait, no. Duh, I forgot I'm in my basement shop where a lot of my itty-bitty tiny clamps are. I'm just going to run this bad boy in. Run that in. Slide these over. And then I can clamp this to my overall bench. Good clamp, cheap clamp. Yeah, I cannot wait. A couple more weeks and I'll be able to pull everything out of here, rearrange everything. I'm hoping to get a workbench soon for down here to replace the one that's got a, this is actually a hole in the top. Get this thing fixed up and ready to go, and I can actually start doing more assembly down here and don't have to spend as much on propane to heat the barn. Alright, that's off. I'm going to come around behind here. Thought I heard my dog barking outside. That's not good because he shouldn't be out there. And I'm back. I didn't think you guys would want to hear that sneeze. Alright. We're going to lift this up a little bit. I apologize, my lighting's not the greatest down here for you. Alright. There's that. Now I'm going to run this out to my barn without you and sand it down real quick. It'll be a lot faster because I'm trying to get this uploaded today, which it's currently 1:30, and I'm hoping to have this video live on YouTube by 6. Because as soon as I get this thing uploading, I'm going out to the barn and got to start getting some inventory ready because I got a pretty big craft show coming up in 2 days, and today is my last day where I'm off and can actually get stuff done before it. So I will be back in here in a little bit. See you then. And we're back. Got my piece all sanded up, and we're at another new to the channel machine, even though I've had this for quite a while. This is my drill press. When you want to drill a straight hole fairly precisely, you use a drill press. It's the only drill bit I need to do these games, so we are gonna apparently be dumb and turn it the wrong way. If you've never been around one before, the thing I'm holding in my hand, this guy that I just used to crack it open, it's called a chuck key. It goes in, and that's how you physically tighten this thing up. I set mine up a little bit in a unique way. I only like to run with one hand to be able to run it down. I think I'm actually going to move this camera before we start drilling. But yeah, and that's what happens when you don't put it in between the teeth right. You can't tell, I don't use these very often, so there is a bit of an art form to them. There we go. If I was thinking, I would have cleared it with my grandma to go to my granddad's shop to do these. I should do that. See if I can run over there and do a YouTube channel before we start getting rid of stuff. I can get a piece of oak and actually make them the way he did. Only difference is I don't know that I'll use the same oils and finishes and stuff that he did, because I don't do a lot of that. Of course, I use the pretty fancy hardwoods that are expensive because they are pretty in themselves. So you don't need like different oils and stuff to color them up. And this is where this template shines. I also picked up a couple roll pins that he didn't use, but they're not going to work. Darn. I was hoping to save myself a little bit of effort. Yeah, well, we will make do with something else. It's the great thing about woodworking. There's always another solution. Some are easier, some are harder. And actually, that clamp might be even easier yet. I don't think it's going to hold securely enough. All right. So, can I do this without blocking you guys? Okay, this first hole here, this one has to go all the way through, so we're going to see where we're set at. And I can already tell you that needs to go deeper. All right. How much deeper, though? That's the question. Drop that clamp. All right, so that's where we're at. Now we just work this guide down and off. And this is not a very precise way of doing this, but we are about halfway through there. So I gotta move this mic. Every time I look down, I'm whacking myself in the face. All right. Shoot. That's too thick. I got a thinner piece of wood down here? Not really. Okay, well, this is a one-off, so we're just gonna do it the fun way, I guess. I got any pieces for it down here? I don't think I do. No, I don't. There. Well, we're gonna loosen this bad boy up and lift it up a little. Yeah, look, you can see I use LEDs down here. Could also be that I don't have the greatest light in this corner to be filming with, so I actually have a spotlight shining up at the ceiling right now. Ooh, that clamp's heavier. All right. And now we just go up through here and hit every single hole. And by the way, if you guys have ever seen the drill presses with the 3 handles sticking off them, I just like having one, but I have the other 2 knobs right here. They just thread out. So if you're sitting here going, I've seen those, but I thought they had 3. That's why. I'm weird, and some of the makers I follow, they like having the 1 because the other 2 sometimes get in your way. I was watching it going, that seems a bit excessive, and the very next time I was getting in my way, and it's like, okay, now I get it. So we're gonna try to get some more better direct lighting on this though before I keep going. One of my wine glasses to engrave getting in the way. And if you guys did not know, yes, I can in fact engrave glass. I just have to do it just takes a little bit of prep work to get the glass ready to take the engraving. All right. That looks a lot better, even though I'm getting the. All right. Back on. And that's what I was afraid of. Does red make that any better? It actually does for the video. Who knew? All right. And you just keep coming through and hit every single little hole. And let me know if you guys are interested in seeing how this particular game is played. I can do a video on that as well. And if you're local and order a set once they're available, or if you hit me up for a custom order, I'm even willing to come over and teach you guys how to play it. There's a couple other things I still got to get from my grandma, but with my granddad just passing, I'm holding off on asking her for any of that right now. But once everything's said and done, only thing you'll need that I'm not including is the deck of cards to be able to start playing immediately. So yeah. Something strangely therapeutic about doing this. Alright. I'm pretty sure that's all of them. And I missed 2. Alright. Well, can't say that I'm not surprised, but we will get those right now. Just clamping up the other side. And There's somewhere in here. There's no way I hit the first one on the first try. No way. I did. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Totally got on the first try. Alright. Yay. Alright. And that template has definitely got a very special place in my shop. Might actually see if I can get somebody to make me another one so I don't have to use his old one. But I'm crazy sentimental like that. And the two end holes have to go all the way through. So that's what I'm doing here. Alright. And that's that. Now I am going to come back to the workbench, so I'll see you back over here. And I'm back. Did you miss me? I wouldn't think so, because for you guys it was just a transition. So for the next step, we have to put a little chamfer around every single hole, which will make these look a lot better. Sorry, I thought I saw something I didn't like there for a second. So for that, I have this chamfer bit. Just goes in a drill, and all you got to do is not the same type he used, but alright, I forgot slow speed with these is better. So the way my granddad did it, he had a drill press for every individual step and everything preset. I unfortunately only have the one, and my drill press isn't that great. And clearly it gets the job done, but his are a lot nicer. So Alright. And there's everything all chamfered out. Before I go back out to the barn, I need this battery. And we're going to round over everything. And this time I think I am going to take you guys out there because I've got a little bit of sanding to do. Might throw it on a time lapse. Yeah, maybe not. It won't take that much. I don't know. I'll think about it. But yeah, and this is just a router with a round over bit. And all that does is take these sharp edges and puts a nice little rounded edge on them. That's the whole point of it. There's other bits you can put in there for like straight cuts and flush cuts if you're trimming. Like if I really wanted to, I could set that up with my with a flush cut bit, use that template and get an exact matching outline to it, but I think it's more fun to cut it that way. But I will see you outside in a few minutes. And after that, no, there's one more thing I got to do before we go out there. I got to run and grab something. All right. One trick he always did just to make it a little easier to see was print out or outline 2 of these holes, which are where you come out and go into your home. So right here, I'm doing this before I sand because I can be as messy as I want. And all I have down here is white spray paint, so I just sprayed it into a little plastic container next to me, which is where it's coming from. But so when you come out of your home, that's where you go. And then in here, I can't remember if he did it, but when you're looking across the table, it always makes it a little bit easier when you're trying to count. And let's be honest, it's also easier. Yeah, I got something on my other phone. Maybe somebody's ordering something from the business. Yay. Probably not, because that was the phone number that's actually posted on here. But yeah, because it does help with strategy when you can see what your opponents are getting ready or trying to do to you. All right. Now we can go outside. Like I said, when I sand those off, that'll pull all that paint off of there. So I will see you guys outside in a few minutes. And we're back. It's been an hour later. I forgot I had some cutting I had to do before I could change my table saw over, and totally forgot to hit record on the first notch cut. So all we do is flip this over, and we're going to do the exact same thing. And then I just got to sand this down a little bit. I'm just going to hit it with a little 320 and double check a couple things, and I think we're good to go. Might need another coat of paint on there, but I might be okay. But if we do, we do. And I realized before I came out here, I cannot spray finish. It is too cold outside. It'll never set up right. And inside I have board butter that I'm currently letting solidify from yesterday. And actually, as soon as we're done with this, I got to get some laser time going to finish burning the lids so I can get those sealed up and ready to rock and roll. So when we're done with this, this is where we're going to leave it today. Unfortunately, I was hoping to finish it, but I'll have it sprayed tonight, and I will change the thumbnail once it's done to the board completed with everything all done on it, so you can see the final product before we start the video. So if you catch it in the next couple days, it might be worth coming back just to take a look at the thumbnail so you can get an idea how pretty this wood is when it's done. But with that said, I am going to cut this one down, sand it up, and we're going to edit this together and call it a day. Then come back out here and turn a heater on and do a lot of lathe work. So till then, I will be back with you as soon as I'm done cutting this, and I got to run and grab a battery real quick. power having a nice data stack. Rips through that stuff in no time at all. And since I've actually never shown a data stack on here, I've got 2 blades in there. That's for cutting what's called a data, which is just a channel through wood. I will be doing videos on different times and reasons you would do that, but one of them, like one of my current projects I'm working on, that's how I lock that board in there. And this is before stain and stuff, but it's also how I get the finger joints in there to lock together nice and tight. So that said, let me grab a battery real quick and we'll get the battery. Got a piece of 320 grit sandpaper on here. I'm not doing anything heavier because I just want to get a nice light sand on it. And then, yeah. So without further ado, here we go. Just gotta really make sure to get everywhere I painted that stuff. If it comes off, it comes off. I was looking at one of the boards I have from Grandpa before I came out here, and it actually didn't have that white mark on it. So, and let's be honest, it's not actually necessary. So. And I'm just sitting where I hit the round overs just to leave a nice smooth finish behind. Alright. It's not as bright as I was hoping, but you can definitely see where it's still white. So, like that. Now we're just going to hit the back real quick, and then here. Make sure that there's no sharp bits around anywhere where I've hit and did the cuts. Alright. This is a little bit of a more boring piece of this Bidoof, but oh right, I got to open that hole up a little more. Let me see if I can find a drill bit real quick. And we're back. So I cannot find the 5/16 drill bit I need. So I got into my pen making stuff and found an 8mm, which is 10 thousandths of an inch smaller than 5/16. Once you do all the fun math to convert it around. So this should be big enough. Still have our chamfer. And I'm going to have to actually drill this out before I glue it in. I think that will be the easiest, but so you got that little guy. We'll open this hole up and you'll have, it takes a minimum of 4 of these to do a setup. Even if you're playing with 2 people, it still takes 4. But yeah. But seriously, in the comments, let me know if you guys want to see how this game's played. And if so, I'll see if I can find somebody that's willing to hop on here. And we'll go over all the rules. But the gameplay itself is very similar to Trouble, except you use a deck of cards instead of a die, which is the single version way of saying dice. I might be a bit of a dice nerd myself, so It's ironic because I don't play like D&D and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm weird. Anyone that knows me will tell you it's true. And yeah. So with that, this is as far as I can take it right now. And all you guys are missing, I don't have any spray lacquer out here anymore. I took it all in. But it's just the equivalent of taking spray paint. I got some other projects coming up. I'm sure you guys will see that. But yeah. So like I say, once I get this sealed up in the next day or two, I will update the thumbnail on the video. So if you've made it this far, thanks for watching. Yeah. This is the only time I'm going to acknowledge the new policy I'm starting to. I'm done asking for likes and shares and subscriptions and all that. You guys know, if you watch YouTube, you know what it takes to help a creator out. Everything I'm asking for is literally 3 clicks. It's not hard, but I'm just going to try to let my work show for itself and see if we can get it to grow. And if not, still sharing this passion with you guys. So I'm not planning on going anywhere. I apologize. It's been a couple weeks since I've done a real video, but I'd like to think with everything I've been through, it makes sense. And yeah, so with that, again, thanks for watching. And as always, Cat in the Hat and that be that. And we will see you guys later if I don't do a live between now and next Wednesday. Have a good one. And hey, if you guys stuck around to the very end, I've got a super secret sneaky thing I just finished up that I'm actually getting ready to drill before I go in. But I've made my first cast pen blank. This has a little bit of sentimental meaning to me. I will be talking about how I make these later on, but this might be a little bit of a hint of something I'm working on for a bunch of people. But it's the first one where I'm actually going to try it here in a couple hours. I just got to drill it out and run in and get a couple things done first. Then we're coming back out to the lathe off camera. So, yeah. Shh, super sneaky.